G'day everybody, how you doing? Just thought I'd put together this short video on the custom mount plate for the FH020AA MOSFET regulator rectifier and a quick show of how I fitted it to my VFR, my 2010. Alright, so first of all I just want to show you the plate, the custom made plate. So this is the actual mounting plate. Okay, this comes from Mike Noland in the States, aka Mellow Dude. He can be reached on an email address which I will supply you with a little bit later on. It's the only way you can actually order this plate is through his email address. You can see it comes with all the necessary hardware, all the nuts, bolts, coach bolts and the plate, and it also comes with a set of fantastic instructions. Mike sends you a full set of instructions, and if I can follow it, let me tell you, anyone can follow it. So first of all, that's the necessary plate that you're going to need to mount the FH020AA MOSFET R&R to your bike. So that's the first thing you're going to need. Well worth getting hold of this because it can't be done without it. And this plate will now allow you to mount the new regulator rectifier in the original position of the old regulator rectifier, which we shall go and have a look at right now. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the position of the regulator rectifier. I've actually got the new FH020 on there as we speak. So let's have a quick look at the fitment of it, and then I can take you through and tell you exactly what I did and how I fitted it and where I rerouted the cabling for the R&R of the power. Okay, so let's take a look at the placement of the new RR to start with, to begin with. Straight up, if we have a look, we can see the aluminium plate, the custom mount plate and the RR. There we go. The plate is up against the frame, mounted in place, so your plate goes on first, and then your new regulator rectifier goes on over the top. You can see there's two bolts, top and bottom. They're the ones supplied, and the double nuts on top. There's two nuts, so one acting as a locking nut. So you put that on first. Put that on first. And then connect your wiring. That comes with the MOSFET Super Kit from roadstercycle.com in the States. You got the bottom one, which is the power supply, top one, which is the stator supply. Okay, let's talk about the power supply at the bottom. So that's the red and yellow one there, red and yellow dot, there's a black wire underneath it. Okay, so to run the power to the new regulator rectifier, the FH020AA MOSFET, I've chosen to route to the rear of the bike because you can't go to the front of the bike because of the way the plate sits. So it's easy to come back down along the frame and in through the hole in the frame that your original stator wire comes through. So use that same hole that your stator wire comes through. Put your power lead through there, come up on the inside of the frame. You can see it here, this is the one here. I've chosen to cable tie it to the fuel lines to keep it up off the head. Come back, it goes under the tank, basically behind this plastic shroud and behind the top of the frame here. And if you have a quick look inside, you might just see there's a red connector block in there. That's the 30 amp inline breaker fuse that comes with the MOSFET Super Kit that you order from roadstercycle.com. So we then go to the other side, and then we can see the red 12 volt power supply coming out from underneath. You can still see that red connector block right at the very under the middle of the tank. The red power supply comes over and onto the 12 volt side, positive side of your battery. The negative side, which is this one here, you can see I've actually spliced an extra length of negative wire as the MOSFET Super Kit was not long enough to actually reach. The negative side was not long enough to reach the negative terminal on the battery. So I had to extend it by 30 centimeters or 12 inches in the old scale, and then attach to the negative side of the battery. Pretty straightforward. The positive side also needs to be lengthened when you order the Super Kit by about 5 centimeters or 50 millimeters. Okay, I'm sorry I don't know what that is in inches, maybe 2 inches will be fine. Alright, so when you order the MOSFET Super Kit, you need to let roadstercycle.com know that you need the negative side lengthened by 12 inches or 30 centimeters, and you also need to let him know the power side, 12 volt power side, needs to be lengthened by 50 mil or say 2 inches. Okay, now let's talk about the stator wiring. Stator wiring's up top. That's this block here with the yellow wires. The stator wire obviously comes down, same way the power does. you go into your stator connections. They're pretty easy. That's the yellow ones you can see there coming out from that hole in the frame, as I said earlier. I've chosen to leave the connector stator block on. I actually cut my old connector stator block off, the old RR, the original OEM RR, and reconnect it and solder it onto the new leads coming out of the MOSFET, onto the new RR leads, stator leads. Now the reason I chose to leave my connector block on just for the moment is because my stator is practically half-life. It'll probably give me another 25,000 kilometers of service, or maybe another 12 months. When I replace it, then I will actually cut the wiring that I soldered onto here, cut the connector block off, and I'll run the new stator wires through, and I'll hardwire them and solder them directly to the new stator and the RR wiring coming down here. But for the moment, I've chosen to just keep the connector block there for ease until I get the new stator. Now, you will have to get also, when you order the MOSFET Super Kit, you will have to ask roadstercycle.com to lengthen your stator wires by about no more than 50 mil. So again, 2 inches will be fine, and that will give you enough wiring to strip back and then connect to your stator wires coming from your stator with a little bit of play to choose as to where you want to run it and how you want to cable tie it. So it's pretty simple, it's very straightforward to mount. The mount plate goes on first. You can see the 2 bolts, top and bottom, that are supplied, the hardware that is supplied from Mike. They're using 2 nuts, so you screw it on first of all, then put a little bit of Loctite on, a little blue Loctite, and then I run a second nut over the top, which Mike supplies. So it's acting as a lock nut system. Okay, works exceptionally well. This is definitely a modification you must do for all VFR owners, and that mounting plate that allows you to fit the RR in the original position is godsend. Mike has done an excellent job, and it fits as per OEM position. You will have no problems whatsoever mounting that. Absolutely brilliant. I've tried running the bike at 98 degrees centigrade engine temp in the garage in here. Inside was 33 degrees ambient temperature, and I was able to hold my hand on the RR as such, and I was not getting burnt whatsoever. It was actually very, very palatable on the hand at those temperatures. So I could not do that with the previous RR. It was so hot to touch, it was burning my hands. Now you can actually hold your hand on it. So that really, really does mean that it's a good regulator rectifier, the new FH, and also Mike's mounting plate, being 4 to 5 mil thick of aluminium, also acts as a heat sink up against the frame. So all in all, this is the perfect modification to do. So there you go, folks. That's how I did it. It's really, really simple. It's well worth doing and makes a huge, huge difference. If there's any other questions that you want to ask that I haven't answered, please feel free to PM me on the VFR 800 Owners Facebook page. Or send me a message just on the Facebook page is fine, and if I can help you out any further, I most certainly will. And I will put together all the information you need as for the MOSFET kit, as well as Mike's details and email addresses as to how to get the mounting plate. So I hope this has helped. It certainly is a wonderful modification to do. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.